it'd be very, very fair to say we are incredibly blessed.
Yep.
Specifically today, we have both wonderful, wonderful wives.
Why specifically today?
Because I want more brownie points today. But this time of year also, it's Christmas holiday season. Things really come into perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, good family. We have wonderful family, great wives. But our relationships with our wives naturally have adjusted over the years.
Okay.
It's not the same exact relationship that we had when we were dating or we were engaged or now that we're not newlyweds anymore. We're a few years into this.
Mm-hmm.
And each of these phases is a bit different in the relationship. So,
absolutely.
I think we should talk about how things adjust, how things change, how it's healthy, and forms of maturity along these ways. How you talk to each other, how you treat each other.
Okay. Yep.
Why don't we start at the beginning, at the dating phase?
Oh boy, the dating phase. Like pre-dating or like you've already started to date?
You know what? Let's start. You're just chatting. You're talking.
Well, all right. So I think if you're going to start there, I think you got to ask the question. When do you stop talking to other women?
Ooh, good question.
Okay. That's immediately what pops in my brain. Okay. So you're out there, you're living it up, you're living the single life.
Mm-hmm.
At what point is it when you start, officially start dating? Is it when you officially become boyfriend, girlfriend?
Start going steady.
Where do you say, okay, I'm done talking to other women? Because we know you are. We know you are.
We're on to you.
When do you say, okay, I'm done texting, Snapchatting, whatever, these other women? When does that come into play?
Since we're going to speak from the guy's perspective here.
Yeah, I feel like that's the most.
The moment you decide you want to date this woman, I think that is the moment where you go from scattershot to focus.
Okay.
I think that is the moment. You're like, all right, I'm out. All this other stuff, nope. Clear the board. There's one thing on the calendar. There's one thing on my plate. I'm going at it.
So
I think that is the moment.
Maybe you've already been on a couple dates at this point.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. Would it be fair to say once as a couple, you've decided to
Be official.
be official?
Like you go out and say, this is my girlfriend, boyfriend. Yes. I think whichever one of those two comes first.
Okay.
Either the discussion where it's official.
Ask them to be your girlfriend.
Yes.
When you do that.
When you give them your Letterman jacket. Go
I
in
never got
steady.
one of those.
Neither did I. Oddly enough. I have a lot of the varsity letters. No jacket to put them on.
Oh, that sucks. Anyway, so I think the more important question here is why? Why do you stop texting? Or why should you stop texting other women?
I think there's a couple excellent answers here. One, focus.
Mm-hmm.
A good woman deserves your sole focus.
Okay.
Also, it often takes 100% of your focus to...
If you think it doesn't, you're missing something.
Yeah. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
What is it? Maturity is realizing that one woman is enough.
First time I've heard that one, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, also it shows respect for her. It tells her, honey, I'm right here. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out there looking around. Don't really have a good plan B. I'm surprised at how well plan A is going, all right?
For me, I think it's important because if you've decided, okay, I want to date this person, and I'm talking like for real, you're actually dating this person.
Dating with intent to wed.
Yes.
Like, you're serious.
Yes.
This isn't a game anymore.
Which we'll leave out the conversation of why you should do that or how you should do that. But you're dating someone and you've decided, okay, I want to really get to know this person. I want to date them. You cannot expect that to be a productive and healthy relationship if you're texting other women. That's why you stop texting them. Because you cannot date someone effectively and productively if you're out there spending your time and energy texting and Snapchatting other women. It will not go well for you. And I know people personally who they've got 30 women in their Snapchat that they're talking to every day, and they struggle to maintain a healthy relationship. And then they wonder why. So,
now let's not totally discount the experience of the why. There is a dopamine hit when it appears, big quotes on that everyone wants to talk to you. I mean, your buddy, the Casanova over here, talking to 30 women. Let's say each of them send him 3 messages a day. That's 90. That's almost 100 messages from women.
it makes you feel good.
Yeah, that is a total ego boost. But it's all superficial ego boost. It's not here.
Yeah.
It's all up here. Yeah. So keep going.
No, I was going to say, I think you're exactly right on there. I think the next phase is, well, you could take this 2 different ways. You could go immediately to fiance, like you guys have decided to get married. But I think let's talk about how, before we go that far, let's talk about how that dynamic shifts leading up to a proposal, right? So you've been dating this girl for a while. Okay. It's getting serious. You both are very interested in the other person. You're really closing in on whether or not that person is the one for you.
Now, I'd like to toss something in here.
Okay.
Some hyper general guide for dating. Don't date someone who you know for sure there's 0 chance of any common lifestyle or principles.
I would say that's probably a good rule of thumb.
Yeah. And at the dating phase, look, just get a couple of the major ones in the same general vicinity.
Yeah.
In this next phase, the engagement phase, the I'm getting to know you phase, I like you, I think I'd like to put a ring on it phase.
Yes. What I want to talk to you about is how do you handle that transition from, especially as men, from, oh, I really like this girl, to, oh, I think this is the one I am going to marry.
I would go with, what is the goal for y'all as a couple? Because if the goal is, we want to biblically follow a good mandate here, get married and have kids, well, that's a big step. That's following a pretty specific guideline here. But that also means, before you propose, I recommend having a couple more of those principles and visions aligned a bit more. So, for example, maybe she wants to have a lot of kids. And you're like, kids are the bane of the earth.
Yep.
That is probably an irreconcilable principle that you
Yeah.
probably should stop and not commit to each other for life?
I would argue that the point in the relationship where you've gone from just dating and being interested in a person to you're still technically dating, you're not engaged yet, but you realize that this is an extremely serious relationship and you are really starting to think this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. That stage, I think, is the most critical stage in any relationship, because this is the point where you have to make some big decisions, and even easier than the ones that follow, or excuse me, even harder than the ones that follow, because like you said, you have to have those difficult conversations and decisions on, can I live with this disagreement, or can we work together to resolve this thing that we don't align on? Or what do I truly care about in a spouse? You got to figure all that out there in that time period. And it's critical that you do it then, not after you're already proposed.
Yes, because it is harder to back out or make adjustments if you find out, oh my gosh, this doesn't align. And if I may, I'd like to give some specific examples from mine.
Go ahead.
And tailor them as you need to, because these come into values. When my wife and I started dating, like night one, I only asked 2 questions, really. I'm a Christian, so I asked, do you believe the Bible is true? We're not going to go into denominations. We're not going into any other beliefs. Just hyper general question.
Right.
Yes. Okay, good. We can at least discuss there's some flexibility here inside all the denominations. Okay.
Yes, but you agree on religion.
Yep. And then I'm like, well, how do you do a politics one? Because you do want to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But I cloaked it in another question, which was, where do you stand on pro-life?
That's a hard one. But that does.
Yeah. Statistically, if you're pro-life, you are going to follow a certain way politically, and certain other items there. So I got the first 2. Like, okay. Now I got the big ones. Good. We can at least start that next phase here.
Yep.
Now we start dating. We start going out. Start making each other a little bit better. Start growing. Start seeing a little bit of a future. The other common items start falling into place. All right. Where would you like to live? What kind of lifestyle do we want to have? Are there kids in the future? Do you want to be us both working forever? Neither working forever. One of us doesn't need to be stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home husband. All of these other items start coming into play.
And the more of those that you can figure out ahead of time,
yes,
the better. You will never ever regret aligning on something now in this stage, but you will regret not aligning on something and then moving down the road and realizing, oh my, this is a problem. And now we got to figure it out. When we could have figured it out here, now we're already here and we have to figure it out now.
I mean, especially once you've taken the time, bought a ring, posted on Facebook, everyone knows, the family knows, been to all the family events. And then the next one, you're like, oh, it didn't work out. Well, what?
Yeah.
What? Well, could you guys have worked,
Yep.
The social pressure is now on there too.
Absolutely.
When you could have prevented that. And a lot of times, what I often find is people don't know really what they believe. They have a default belief that's never been questioned. And I say questioned very respectfully here. Questioned with intent to understand why I believe what I believe.
Yeah. I think a lot of people really start to understand themselves better in this stage because it forces them to figure out what it is that they think and where they stand on certain items. And I think there's so many relationships out there which they're They're just dating. They're interested. I like this person. They make me happy. They're funny, whatever. And then they skip right into the, oh, well, then let's get married.
Yeah, they took a solely emotional decision.
Yep.
Early puppy love, all the excitement. Oh, our hands just touched it was electric. All right.
Yep.
That
Then
doesn't equate ring.
Yep. And so have those difficult conversations. That's very critical.
And you're allowed in that you're allowed to be a little bit apprehensive.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how this is going to go. And you could say, honey, I need us to talk about some kind of important things here. Can we talk about that? And, don't blindside her with a deep theological question
Right.
at the middle of a family dinner. All right?
Yeah.
The whole family's going to jump. It's a bad thing. But have appropriate time to talk about those important things. And be vulnerable enough to know, maybe I don't know my position as well as I should, but try to understand how she got to her position.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that is a powerful question, and help me see why you think and believe the way you do.
Yes.
Or
Now,
feel.
I want to shift gears a little bit here while we're still at this point, and maybe something that's not as obvious. If you've made it to this point where you're starting to feel like this person is very important to you, or even more so important, you start to feel that the other person is feeling that way. It's important that you act appropriately. For example, if you're in that relationship and you're starting to get to this phase, you need to start acting like it. Okay? This is no longer just a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend. This is someone who you're in a serious relationship with, right? They go with you to important things, right? Your decisions are made somewhat with their input to a degree, right? You don't just out here willy-nilly, I'm going out with the boys this weekend. I'll see you on, next week sometime, right? Like, you're committed to this person now, okay? For the individuals who are out there, once you've gone from here to here, there are some shifts in how that dynamic works. I'm not saying it's, you guys are locked down now, but you should act accordingly to what that relationship is.
And I think it doesn't even have to be intentional yet, because it should kind of be a bit natural.
Yes.
Where, you love going out with your boys, but you kind of wanted to hang with her?
Right.
What?
Right.
Where did this come from? You wanted to go to dinner with her and her family?
Right.
What? And your boys are wondering what just happened to him.
Yep.
That's okay. Now, at this point, this is still, like you said, this is more the natural phase of, your wants are changing.
Yep.
From boys to, okay, how you doing, honey? A little bit of a shift there.
Yep. So now we've shifted to engaged. Okay. You've proposed. That's a whole nother video one time. But you have proposed, and we're going to make the assumption that she said yes.
You are the luckiest son of a gun in the world right now. You're the world's best salesman. Good job.
Yes. I think a lot of people, and I'm not going to say most, but I think a lot of guys in this situation think that their job is done now.
Not even close.
Not even close. They're like, yeah, we're engaged. She can plan the wedding. We're good. Whatever. They don't necessarily come out and say it like that, but their mentality shifts from, okay, well, we're engaged now. I did my part. I bought the ring. I got down on one knee. We're engaged. I did my part.
I don't have to try anymore.
Exactly. I don't feel like that's appropriate or that's the case.
Nope, not at all.
This window is not an extension of dating. Okay? You guys have now decided to spend your life together. you should act like that. Okay? First of all, you should have some purpose here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're not just hanging out for another 3 or 4 years or whatever.
No.
To figure it out, because you should have already figured it out at this point.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, there's a purpose for there. We won't go into all of the details on what that purpose should be there, but just know that during this, in my personal opinion, in this time period, there's a purpose for what you're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
You've decided that you want to spend your life with this other person. You should be preparing for that during that time.
Mm-hmm. This is like if you were about to go play basketball. You had a big game coming up. This is practice.
Yes.
This is, you are planning, you're watching tape, you are dribbling every day, you are getting prepared for the game.
Yes. You're putting your life in order. Mm-hmm. Okay. And at the same time, it's still this, you should still be enjoying the time that you're spending with them. You should be going on dates. You should be spending quality time together. Exactly. But you shouldn't, I guess what I want to emphasize here is this isn't a time to just hang out and extend further dating, but now you're engaged.
Right. And
there should be some purpose there.
Mm-hmm. And once you've committed to something, do it.
Yep.
Don't do a 3 to 5 year engagement. You know what? Fine. Please, for all that is good, do not do a 3-year engagement. Please. No.
Yeah.
You haven't earned the right to be husband and wife until you're married.
And I think we all know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shouldn't be acting like husband and wife.
Yeah. Don't play house until you can play house. But also, up to this point, though, and, you know, you and I haven't had this discussion yet to see where we each land on this, but I am of the opinion that until wedding day, either one of you can back out until the moment that you say, I do. I believe that each of us should have a friend who has the guts to say almost, I mean, yes, this would be a little controversial. On your wedding day, bro, are you sure?
Yep.
Because there's plenty of people we could probably point to in our mind who, if someone had the courage to say to them on their wedding day, yeah, I'm having some serious doubts, that person, it would have been awkward for everybody, but they would have thanked us.
I'm going to mostly agree with you.
Fair.
And we can address this video at another time. But I'm going to say the reason I wouldn't, or part of the reason I wouldn't, is if you shouldn't be at that point if your reason for backing out is your lack of effort.
Yes.
So if you get to your wedding day or the week of your wedding day and you're like, well, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready, because you didn't have those hard conversations and hard decisions when you should have, and now you don't know. I'm not saying go ahead and get married, but I'm saying you should not be in that position.
Yeah, you're setting yourself up and her to fail.
Absolutely.
And that's not fair to her. It's not fair to you, because we don't want you to be miserable in your life, because marriage should be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity in time. It's going to have some of these, but it shouldn't just be a drag on your life.
Right. Now, I'm going to take a step back here and further the extension that we've been doing. Once you're engaged, again, your relationship shifts. Okay? So what are some things that change between dating and engaged?
I would say a lot of it, the communication style is definitely shifted. There's a lot more of the we discussion. The what do we want for the wedding? Not my wedding is going to look X, Y, and Z. It's our wedding is going to look like X, Y, and Z. I think it's a whole lot more of the importance of communication, importance of actually saying what you mean and learning how to communicate that without, I mean, maybe your natural personality is a hammer That doesn't work all of the time.
Nope.
Just because they say, yes, you're right. Oh, that's that doesn't mean you were right.
Probably means you weren't.
It means I'm sick of fighting about this and I don't really want to talk about it. And you kind of are a bully and I don't want to say it and I don't want to fight because you're my fiance and we're trying to get married. It's supposed to be such a happy time of my life and now you're making it really sad. I don't want to think about that. And all that
was an oddly specific line you just spit right there.
Yeah, I was channeling like every single rom-com movie in my life.
I'm going to add to that, and I'm going to say here, furthermore, your priorities and expectations, especially as a guy, shift during this stage. Okay? So, absolutely at this point, right, you should definitely not be talking to other women.
Oh my, yes, absolutely.
You should be restructuring your friends' dynamics with the people that you're around. That kind of goes hand in hand. Whether they're female friends or male friends, if you're a guy, those friendships dynamics should be starting to shift a little bit in that stage. And I'm not saying like your friendship itself should change, but especially if they're female friends, that shift should start here. Once you're engaged to the, we'll go together to this thing, right? Or, we can hang out at this said event here. Or your fiance and that girl are maybe talking or something of that point, right? And with your guy friends, it's not a hard and fast rule for every situation, but your guy friends should start to understand that you're now engaged and you're at a point in your life where you're focused on your soon-to-be spouse.
Yes.
And they should understand that and respect that.
They should even support it.
And support it. I'm not saying you can't be friends and you can't hang out with your buddies, but I'm saying you should understand the point in your life that you're at in this stage. But just understanding that there is some responsibility that comes along with that. And maybe if you're not comfortable with that, that's something to consider at that point.
Yes. And as those friendships, we're going to call it mature, you should be finding those friends who also want the best for you in this new relationship. You don't want a buddy who points out every single good-looking girl on the walk.
Yes.
That guy is like, bro, I'm off the market. Don't be telling me every time you see something. You want the friend who, if he catches you staring at the waitress, slaps you in the head. That's the friend you want here.
Yes.
The friend who is also aligned with this new vision that you have committed your life to. This new, because it's not just you now. It's you and her.
And I do want to point out that can be a hard item to overcome.
Yes.
It's not a easy, immediate item. When my best friend was they was engaged and he was getting married, that was a time of my life where we didn't spend a lot of time together because he was focused on some other items. Now, was that ideal for me? No. But that was the point that he was at in his life, and I had to understand that and respect that and still be there to support him, but understanding where we were at.
Yes.
So, last step here.
The big one.
The big one. You said I do, walked the aisle, had your wedding. You're back from the honeymoon, and let's say it's 6 months down the road.
Okay.
Maybe not even that far. 3 months down the road.
Okay.
How does that dynamic shift now? What does that relationship look like married?
I think now at this point, it's been fully established. All decisions and all vision has shifted entirely. You're not you. You are y'all.
Yep.
And y'all is one person. That doesn't mean that you both don't like different shades of blue, and you can still like purple or pink, and you can still like blue and red. But the important decisions are y'all decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You can still lead your family, but this is still a y'all discussion now. All family traditions have to be reevaluated.
Yep.
Every Christmas, you guys, historically, single you always went and did this exact thing. Well, single you's dead. You're married you now.
Mm-hmm.
This is different. And all family and all friends, this is hard for them, have to understand that person is gone. This is a new person. You have to reestablish this relationship to see where it's going to land and how all that's going to work. And that's going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. It's important that you really unify and get on the same page together.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm going to add on to that and say, I think this is the point in where defining, understanding, and maturing into your role as a spouse is most critical.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, your role was pretty simple. You were the boyfriend, the fiance, and now you're the spouse.
Mm-hmm. The husband.
That
Ooh.
means that's a big responsibility there.
Mm-hmm.
And we can have a whole different discussion on what that responsibility should look like.
I think that'll be a really good future one for us to really deep dive into.
Absolutely. But for this discussion, it's important that in this phase, I think, that you really dig into whatever it is you're identifying that role as. Because each person in that relationship is going to have different roles. And it's going to take time to figure them out and understand them. But spending the time and energy it takes to figure them out so that you can learn the best way to work together is important.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just expect the marriage to work on its own. You got to put in the time to understand, okay, hey, this works for us. Hey, this doesn't work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, she's okay if I do this, but she's not okay if I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, oh, hey, I got to do this now because now I have a wife. I can't do this now because I have a wife. Understanding and learning how those roles change and growing into that, I think, is important. And there'll be a little bit different for everybody. And like I said, we won't dive into that super deep right now. But just spending the time and energy to grow and mature into your role as a spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just expect it to work out on its own.
No. Now, I'll say just quick advice for all 3 to 4 stages of this relationship that this imaginary person just walked through with us on this. Communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can toss in one extra item here, pray together.
Yes.
Because that is you communicating with God and them. It's a powerful moment. And guess what? It's really awkward at times.
Oh, I bet it can be.
Yeah. But communication, and it's okay that this changes. This relationship looks different each time.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. You're not the same person who started off on this journey.
Right.
You've grown, hopefully.
Yeah.
And, it's why it's so important to pick the right one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because during all of those stages, there are going to be mistakes. There's going to be mishaps. There's going to be difficulties. Finding someone who understands that and is willing to work through, and that's such an easy thing to say, but it's such a hard thing to actually do.
Mm-hmm.
But finding someone who's truly, truly remarkable at working through the difficult things in life is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of I think the key things in that marriage aspect. But I think you're right. Communication is key. Hear it all the time. But I think I think we did a good job of covering kind of how the relationship evolves through those stages and some topics to look out for, some tips to consider on if you're in one of those situations or the stages of the relationship, how to adjust your thought process throughout.
And if you don't have good examples in your life for that, luckily we've been blessed with wonderful wives, but also wonderful examples.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you don't have the blessing of that, reach out.
Yes.
We can connect you with local people or each other and other people here.
Yeah, that, or I'm sure somewhere in your network
Yes.
of people, there will be someone that you may not have known. And it may not be as close as you think, but someone's been there, someone's done it, they've been through it, and they'll be happy to help you. So, thank you, man. I think this was good.
I like it, man. Appreciate it.
Till next time.